There's really just one moment in every broken relationship where it can still be saved. Just one. And here's the thing. Most women completely miss it. Not because they don't love him enough, absolutely not, but because literally nobody ever taught them what to actually do in that specific moment. So today in this explainer, we're going to walk through 7 distinct ways to rebuild what feels broken before it's just entirely too late. And that last one, point number 7, I promise you it is going to completely shock you.
Look, if you're here listening to this right now, chances are something feels off, right? Maybe the conversations got shorter. Maybe the silence between you two just got louder. Or maybe he still comes home every single evening, but you can feel deep down that he's not really there anymore. I want you to know something right now. You are not imagining it. And you're not alone either. Over the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly how relationships quietly fall apart, and much more importantly, how they can be rebuilt through real steps and real mindset shifts. We're skipping the fluff here. Stick with me till the end, because point number 7, it changes everything.
All right, so let's dive right into step 1. We've got to talk about this massive trap, which is the cycle of trying to fix him versus actually trying to understand him. Here's the trap that almost every woman falls into. I mean, I've seen it a million times. She sees the problem in the relationship and she immediately shifts into full-on fix-it mode. You start thinking, okay, if I just explain this better, he's going to get it. Or if I just try harder, he'll finally change. But here's the reality. Relationships don't break because women don't try hard enough. No way. They break because both people simply stop understanding each other.
Think about this woman. Let's call her Sarah. She's been married for 6 years. Now, every conversation with her husband had basically turned into this exhausting debate about who's right and who's wrong. She honestly thought she just needed better arguments to win him over. But what she actually needed to do was just stop debating entirely, to take a real breath and start asking, what is he really feeling right now? That single question, that is exactly where real rebuilding begins. So I really have to ask you, have you ever noticed this in your own relationship? Like, are you so busy trying to prove your point that you completely forget to ask what's hiding underneath his silence? And honestly, that silence leads us straight into step 2. This one's a bit brutal, but you really need to hear it. Breaking the emotional roommate syndrome. You see, somewhere along the way, a lot of couples stop being partners and they basically just become roommates. You share a physical space, a bed, a bathroom, your morning routine, maybe a Netflix account. But emotionally, you're distant strangers. You ask, how was your day, purely out of habit, but you don't actually listen to the answer. He says, I'm fine, and you don't push further because, well, honestly, you're just tired too. Do you do this too, living side by side every single day but feeling completely alone? I mean, this is one of the absolute quietest relationship killers out there because there's no grand explosion. Nothing dramatic even happens. There's no massive fight, no affair. It's just distance, building up slowly every single day. And that unchecked distance, that eventually becomes the point of no return. Now let's move on to step 3, because we have to address the big mistake people make when that distance leads to broken trust. Here's something most people get completely wrong. They think a heartfelt apology or some grand emotional speech is going to fix years of hurt. It doesn't. If trust was broken, whether that's from a lie, a betrayal, or just years and years of broken promises, words just aren't going to cut it anymore. Trust is absolutely not rebuilt in a single conversation. Trust is rebuilt in a pattern. It basically requires 3 things. Small promises kept consistently and repeated over time. Just imagine this for a second. You tell a friend you'll call them back, but you don't. And you do this for 3 weeks straight. Then one day you sit them down and say, I promise I'll always call you back from now on. Would she believe you? Of course not. And that's exactly how he feels too. Trust isn't restored by what you say, it's restored by proof. Which brings us to step 4, and a really tough reality. Are you both hurting and both waiting, but neither of you actually moves? Think about it. Pride is a really powerful thing. It keeps both people completely frozen in place, each one waiting for the other to apologize first, to reach out first, to soften first. And while you're both just sitting there waiting, the relationship is quietly dying in the background. So step 5 is this. Someone has to break the pattern. And honestly, oftentimes, that person has to be you. Not because it's fair, and definitely not because it's your job to fix the whole shebang by yourself. Rebuilding often starts with one small, brave, incredibly unglamorous act. You going first. Going first isn't weak. It actually means you are the one brave enough and willing enough to actually step up and save the relationship. And when you do reach out, how exactly do you do it? Well, step 6 is all about shifting from comfort back to curiosity. Do you remember early on in your relationship, you were endlessly curious about him? Like, what does he think? What makes him laugh? What is he genuinely scared of? But somewhere along the line, comfort completely replaced that curiosity. We just assume we already know everything about our partner. But people change. The man you committed to years ago is not exactly the same man sitting across from you today. So try this. Ask him a completely new question. Ask him something you've genuinely never asked before. Something like, what's something you're proud of that I never really acknowledge? And then just listen. Seriously, watch what happens. Curiosity rebuilds connection faster than almost anything else because it makes the other person feel truly seen again, rather than just familiar. But as you practice this new curiosity, there is a major trap you really have to avoid. Have you ever caught yourself venting to like 5 different people about your relationship, getting 5 totally different opinions, and walking away feeling way more confused than when you started? I mean, this is so incredibly common, but it's dangerous. Every time you vent every private detail of your relationship to friends, family, or worse, social media, you are actively inviting outside pain and outside opinions into a very private bond. Listen, if you truly want to rebuild something sacred, you have to protect it. You've got to protect the relationship from all that outside noise. Talk to him directly, first, before you talk to literally everyone else about him. Keep that foundation secure. Okay, take a breath with me for a second because we've arrived at point number 7, the climax. This is what nobody tells you about broken relationships, and it's the one thing most people just never talk about. Sometimes the relationship isn't breaking because of him. It's breaking because somewhere along the way, you stopped choosing him too. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. You stopped putting in the effort, you stopped being playful, you stopped showing up as the version of you that he fell in love with in the first place. And he did the exact same thing to you. It's not always about him changing. It's about both of you slowly, quietly, forgetting to choose each other every single day. Because a relationship isn't just a thing you have. It's a thing you both do, daily, actively, on purpose. The moment you realize that, everything changes. Because now you aren't just sitting back waiting for him to fix it. You're actively rebuilding it, starting right now, today. That's the real shock. Most people don't know this, but the power was never gone. It was just unused. So tell me, as we wrap up, which one of these points hit closest to home for you today? Was it the whole realization of being an emotional roommate? Or was it point number 7, realizing that you both just kind of stopped choosing each other? Comment down below right now and tell me which point surprised you the most. I genuinely read them all. And listen, if you are currently going through this, you are absolutely not alone. There are thousands of women watching this right alongside you who feel exactly the same way. If this explainer gave you even a little bit of clarity today, well, that is exactly why we make these. Please like this if it meant something to you and hit subscribe to Mentor Venter. We post deep dive explainers just like this every single week to help you build stronger, deeper, more authentic relationships. Now, I'm going to leave you with this provocative thought. Is your relationship really worth fighting for, or is it finally time to let go? It's a heavy question, I know, but it's exactly what we're going to unpack, looking at the exact signs you need to look out for in our next explainer. I really can't wait to share it with you. See you there.